Harry's title revoked after Henry Herbert confirmed Duke was his biological son. DNA results proven. Imagine waking up to find that everything you knew about your identity was a lie. Now, imagine that revelation being broadcast to the world, stripping you of your royal status, your legacy, and even your last name. That's precisely what Prince Harry is facing in the wake of a stunning DNA revelation that has sent Buckingham Palace into full-blown crisis mode. For years, speculation swirled about Prince Harry's parentage, with whispers that he bore little resemblance to his father, King Charles III. But no one, not even the most die-hard conspiracy theorists, could have predicted this bombshell. The results of a DNA test have confirmed that the Duke of Sussex is, in fact, not the biological son of King Charles. Instead, shocking new evidence points to Henry Herbert, a British aristocrat, as Harry's true father. And in an unprecedented move, the royal family has now revoked his title. How did this all unravel? And what does this mean for the future of the British monarchy? Buckle up, because this story is about to take you on a wild ride through palace intrigue, long-buried secrets, and a scandal that will be talked about for generations. For decades, the British public and the world have speculated about Prince Harry's uncanny resemblance to James Hewitt, the former cavalry officer who had an affair with Princess Diana. But the real shock came when a different name surfaced: Henry Herbert, the 17th Earl of Pembroke, a name previously unheard in royal gossip circles. According to insider sources, it all started when an independent journalist, determined to get to the bottom of the rumors, managed to obtain a DNA sample from an unsuspecting Henry Herbert. The results? A perfect genetic match to Prince Harry. Now, let's pause for a second. Imagine the sheer disbelief that must have hit the royal corridors like a thunderclap. Was this even possible? Had Diana kept this secret hidden all these years? More importantly, what did this mean for Harry's royal status? As the world reeled from the revelation, Buckingham Palace scrambled to contain the fallout. But the monarchy had no choice. The results were undeniable. And so, for the first time in modern history, a prince was stripped of his title. If you think this kind of revelation would leave anyone reeling, you'd be right. Insiders close to Harry say that he was blindsided, devastated, and, above all, furious. After spending his life believing he was the son of the king, the news that he wasn't even technically a royal must have felt like a cruel joke. Reports suggest that Meghan Markle has been his rock during this crisis, urging him to fight back and reclaim his dignity. But the real question is, how does one even begin to process this? What does it feel like to be exiled from a family you once called your own? For Harry, the answer seems to be a mix of anger and defiance. Sources claim that he has no intention of fading quietly into obscurity. Instead, he's considering legal action, questioning whether the monarchy had the right to strip him of his titles in the first place. And that's not all. There's another plot twist coming. The British monarchy has survived wars, betrayals, and more scandals than a soap opera. But this is uncharted territory. Stripping Harry of his title is one thing, but the monarchy now faces a much bigger problem: credibility. If the DNA results are accurate, what does that say about King Charles and his ability to maintain control over his own family? Royal experts suggest that the palace is working overtime to downplay the scandal, focusing instead on Prince William's steady leadership. But even William, known for his measured demeanor, is reportedly struggling to come to terms with the news. And here's where things get even messier. Some sources claim that King Charles was aware of the possibility that Harry wasn't his son but chose to ignore it for the sake of the monarchy's stability. Did Charles turn a blind eye for years, knowing the truth would eventually explode? So, what does life look like for Harry now that he's no longer a prince? Does he simply become Harry Windsor or, even more bizarrely, Harry Herbert? One thing is certain: the former Duke isn't going anywhere. With his ties to the monarchy severed, some insiders speculate that Harry might take a new approach, rebranding himself as an activist untethered from royal expectations. After all, his popularity in the US remains high, and his Netflix deals, book deals, and media empire could continue thriving without the weight of royal protocol. But there's another possibility. What if Harry fights back? Could we see a legal battle unfold between Harry and the crown? Could this scandal push him to reveal even more buried royal secrets? And more importantly, could this shakeup pave the way for a much-needed modern monarchy, free from the rigid traditions that have defined it for centuries? One thing's for sure, the world is watching. If you thought Prince Harry's dramatic exit from royal life in 2020 was the biggest shakeup in recent history, think again. This DNA revelation has rewritten the story of one of the world's most famous figures, leaving the monarchy scrambling for damage control. So, what do you think? Should Harry fight back and reclaim his title? Or is this the perfect opportunity for him to carve out a new identity, free from royal expectations? One thing's for sure, this isn't just another royal scandal. It's history in the making. In the wake of this stunning revelation, the public has been divided. Social media platforms exploded with debates, memes, and heated discussions over what this means for Harry, the monarchy, and even the very foundation of royal lineage. Some sympathize with Harry, seeing him as a victim of an institution that never fully embraced him. They argue that he has been unfairly cast aside, first by the press, then by his family, and now by the law itself. Supporters believe that stripping him of his title is not only cruel but unnecessary. After all, he was raised as a prince, served as a prince, and has carried himself as one for decades. Others, however, argue that the monarchy's decision was inevitable. If Harry isn't of royal blood, how can he hold a royal title? Some conservative royalists view this as a return to tradition, a correction of an unfortunate mistake rather than an injustice. But there's an even bigger question looming. If Harry's true parentage could be kept secret for this long, what other secrets is the royal family hiding? And that leads us to another shocking possibility. What if Harry isn't the only one with an unknown parent? If the monarchy could keep such a colossal secret for decades, it raises another unsettling thought. Are there more skeletons in the royal closet? History has shown that royal affairs, illegitimate children, and concealed paternity are nothing new. The British monarchy has weathered centuries of whispers about questionable lineages, but modern technology, especially DNA testing, has made it nearly impossible to keep such secrets forever. Some conspiracy theorists have even begun questioning other members of the royal family. Could there be additional unknown heirs? Are there more royals walking around without even realizing their true lineage? And what about Prince William? If one son of Diana was not fathered by Charles, does that cast doubt on William's paternity as well? While such theories remain pure speculation, they highlight an underlying issue. The British monarchy thrives on stability and tradition, yet this scandal proves just how fragile that image can be. The palace may want this scandal to disappear, but in an age of digital media and relentless public scrutiny, it may be impossible to contain. The future of the monarchy. Will it survive this crisis? With this revelation shaking the monarchy to its core, many are wondering, could this be the beginning of the end for the British royal family? Republican movements in the UK and Commonwealth nations have long called for the abolition of the monarchy, arguing that it's outdated and irrelevant in modern society. And while the institution has survived wars, divorces, and political upheaval, this scandal cuts deeper. It strikes at the heart of royal legitimacy. If Prince Harry, raised as the son of a king, can be erased from royal history with the results of a DNA test, then what does that say about the very concept of monarchy? There's already growing discontent in places like Australia, Canada, and the Caribbean nations that still recognize the British crown. Some political leaders have called for an end to their ties with the monarchy, and the palace's silence, damage control, or a ticking time bomb. In the wake of this unprecedented scandal, the royal family has maintained a calculated silence. No official statement has been released, and the palace's usual strategy of never explain, never complain seems to be in full effect. But in today's digital age, where information spreads at lightning speed and public opinion is shaped in real time, can the monarchy afford to stay quiet? Historically, the British royal family has weathered countless controversies, from Prince Andrew's Epstein connections to Diana's tragic death. Yet this revelation is different. It questions the legitimacy of an entire branch of the monarchy. If Harry was unknowingly living a lie, what does that say about the credibility of the institution itself? The silence from Buckingham Palace has only fueled more speculation. Are they scrambling behind the scenes to suppress more damaging information? Could this lead to more DNA tests being conducted on other royals? The longer they wait, the more people start to question if there's even more to the story than meets the eye. And that leads us to an even bigger question. What if King Charles himself isn't the rightful king? Could this scandal expose more royal secrets? If Harry's DNA results prove that he isn't King Charles' son, then what else could modern science reveal? While most of the royal family's lineage has been carefully documented, the British monarchy has a long history of secrets, hidden affairs, and whispered rumors of illegitimate children. For instance, some historians have speculated that Edward IV, the great-great-great-great-grandfather of Queen Elizabeth II, may have been illegitimate himself, which would technically mean that every monarch after him, including Queen Elizabeth and King Charles, had no rightful claim to the throne. Could this recent DNA scandal inspire historians, researchers, or even the public to demand more genetic tests on other royals? And what would happen if those tests revealed an even bigger secret, perhaps one that shakes the monarchy even more than Harry's scandal? Harry and Meghan's next move, exposing the truth? If there's one thing we've learned from Harry and Meghan, it's that they don't back down easily. After stepping back from royal duties in 2020, the couple has built a global media empire, using their platform to reveal behind-the-scenes stories of palace life. From their tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey to Harry's memoir Spare, they've shown a willingness to pull back the curtain on royal secrecy. Now, with Harry's entire identity being called into question, some believe this could push him to go even further. Could we see another explosive interview where Harry speaks candidly about his reaction to the DNA results? Or, even more shocking, could he reveal previously unknown details about other royal scandals that he's been privy to? The possibilities are endless. One thing is certain, this isn't over. The public's demand for answers. The British public, once unwaveringly loyal to the royal family, has begun to shift. Polls show that younger generations are increasingly indifferent, or even opposed, to the monarchy. Many view it as outdated, an expensive institution funded by taxpayer money with little relevance to modern Britain. Now, with Harry's royal bloodline in question, more people are asking, if the monarchy isn't based on legitimate lineage, what purpose does it even serve? Across the Commonwealth, nations like Australia, Canada, and Jamaica are reevaluating their ties to the British crown. Some leaders have even hinted that this scandal might accelerate their push to remove the monarchy altogether. Could this be the catalyst that finally brings an end to the British royal family as we know it?